What's up, you guys? Today let's talk about how to get in touch with your intuition. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't think I'm like the best, fullest expert in this subject, but I am gonna tell you what's worked for me in getting in touch with my intuition, to use it as my internal guidance system for literally everything that I do in life. And it's been such an incredible help and guide for me ever since I really started getting in tune with it and learning how to use it to my advantage and use it to guide myself leading forward into the future and the times that I have recognize intuitive flashes and things that have gone on inside of myself and ignored them, how that's hindered me and the consequences I've had to pay as a result of not listening to my intuition, because your intuition always has your back, whether something seems good or bad. In the moment, occasionally, sometimes it can seem like your intuition gives you a bad guidance, but really it doesn't, because everything that your intuition is telling you is what your soul is telling you. It's the greater path that you're going on in life, deeper than what is going on. So I'm going to be telling you everything that worked for me to get in touch with my intuition, and hopefully you can do some of the same stuff. And seriously, if you want to take your intuition to the next level, you can get really good at this kind of stuff. I mean, there was this one guy that I met. I actually met him through my brother, and I was talking to him, and this guy's like crazy intuitive, and like he has the ability, I would almost say the gift, to really dig deep into himself and listen to his intuition. I was talking to him, and he's this awesome guy. You can pay him for these sessions, and he was able to tell me things that I feel like I could have maybe gotten a little bit of a grasp on, but he was able to tell me things that nobody else would have been able to tell me. There was nobody, there was no possible way of him knowing certain things, because there was no communication that I would have given him or that anybody else would have given him, and he was able to pick up on all those cues just by being so in touch with his intuition and his deeper self. And if you want to go that far extreme into the intuitive and like spiritual field and stuff, that's going to take a lot of practice. That's going to take a lot of meditation and going really deep into yourself to really get that far into the game of things. But I mean, honestly, for me, I just use it, I guess, more so as for guiding myself in my life decisions and making sure that I'm headed down the right path, doing the things that I care about and that I love about. So with that being said, let's go ahead, let's get into it. Let's get into the video on how to get in touch with your intuition. Now, the things that worked for me, really it came down to using your intuition as a muscle. And your intuition, so you're going to feel it in here, you're going to feel it in your chest, and you're going to feel it in your stomach. You're going to know intuitively, and sometimes you may have like these flashes that come into your head. And when it comes, it's just more so subtle. And the thing about your intuition is it's not going to be like this glaringly obvious thing that just comes at you like a ton of bricks, like when your intuition comes to you and is talking to, it's up to you really to just develop your awareness so that you can listen. And this subject is not something that I really talk about often with a lot of people, because like it can carry a different connotation that I want people than I really think that I'm trying to get across. And here's the thing about your intuition: there's something inside of you, whether you believe it or not. That you're a spiritual being or not, there is something inside of you that is there to help you. And it comes down to being able to listen to this, and more so, it comes down to being able to trust yourself, that you're listening to yourself. When I was first starting to develop my intuition, I remember there were moments that I felt like I received little moments of intuition that I didn't listen to. And it's because it was the first times that I was learning to fully trust myself. Now I feel like with developing your intuition, you really do develop a lot of self-trust in this process, which is absolutely incredible. It's just something really important to be aware of. Times that my intuition has helped me, for example, I was driving this car down to Las Vegas one time so I could do my bike ride from LA to Vegas, and I got that all on video, so that's going to be going up on the main channel. The link for that is in the description down below. And I remember there was a certain road that I really just felt out of nowhere that I wasn't supposed to drive very fast on, because I was going like 90 miles an hour on the way down. I was going too fast, but I was driving that way for hours. I mean, because from Oregon to Las Vegas, there's literally like nothing in between. There's no houses. It's just like empty. And I was going pretty much 90 this whole time. And I remember getting just like this feeling inside of my stomach that was just, don't go this fast on this road, wait for, who knows how long. And I decided to ignore that feeling because I was like, oh no, I'm going to be fine. I'd just rather get to Las Vegas. About 30 minutes into that ride, after I had that feeling, I got pulled over and I got a ticket and I had to pay like $200 and it sucks. So like simple things like that are moments where I recognized what was going on, but I didn't listen to myself. Now, what I encourage you to do to develop your intuition is start noticing when it pops up. And maybe you don't take action on it right away because maybe you don't fully trust yourself at that point or trust your intuition at that point, but I want you to notice when it comes up. And then maybe just make a mental note of it or make a note in your phone in your notes and take a moment to write down what happened after that. What series of events happened that either confirmed or denied whatever your intuition was telling you was going to happen. Now that was a simple like event-based intuition. Now there's also intuitions that you can have about people. When you meet people, everybody carries a certain energy around them and it's pretty easy and apparent to be able to pick it up with them. And this seriously is like for anybody. I remember having this one friend that we're still best friends to this day. He was living down in California at one time and he was doing this phone selling service. And he was one of the best salesmen in his company. I believe he got like the third best in the whole nation. He was an absolutely incredible salesman and me and him were just talking about it. And then he was talking to me about how he knows whether or not someone is going to buy a phone from him because that's what he was selling. And I remember him telling me that because he was bored, he started developing the skill where he would look at people and he would feel or attempt to guess what their life was like, what their job was, where they lived, all that stuff, what they grew up like. And he would try to pick up on all this information about them before he ever spoke a word to them. And the first times, it was just like, oh, whatever. But the more he practiced this skill, the more he started getting an intuitive feeling about who someone was before he even talked to them. And as he developed that skill, he said he started using it to his advantage in sales. And before you know it, he became the third best salesman in the nation. And he told me he was able to pretty much accurately describe people's lives before he had even communicated with them, before he had gone up to say, hey, do you want a phone or not, So that was the moment that I realized that intuition can personally be developed as a muscle and you can use it to help guide you with people. Ever since that conversation, I've taken that skill as a part of myself where I will meet people and I will talk to them, and before I meet them or maybe during my 5-minute conversation with them, I'll really try to pick up on details about them and their life and see what I got right and got wrong and use that to my advantage so that I know if I am having a good communication with someone that's going to be helpful and beneficial for my life, or maybe if I'm dealing with someone that's not going to be so helpful and beneficial for my life. I've used this example before where I really personally know that there was this one time where I, with my ex-girlfriend that I've talked about many times on this channel, there was a moment in time where I remember just feeling this flash inside my body that told me, no, don't do that. And I rejected it and I didn't listen to it. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it's because she is so beautiful. She's one of the most beautiful girls I have ever seen in my life. She's absolutely drop dead gorgeous, and me being a stupid boy decided to ignore my intuition and continue talking to her. And I messed that up, and I had to deal with a lot of the pain and the consequences as a result of ignoring my intuition when it comes to people. So when it comes to people, that's very important that you can develop that skill because it'll help you make better friends and guidance for your life and make you put yourself in positive situations. There's also, I would say, life direction intuition. Whereas I tell you making these YouTube videos, I would rather die than do anything else. I feel that right now this is like my purpose in life. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. And I think that for a lot of I can say that with such total certainty and confidence that I remember when I wasn't this certain about stuff, what it felt like. I remember saying like, like what is my passion and whatnot. And now having come across that, I know with total certainty that this is it. And I can tell you that this is it just based off my intuitive feeling of it, that I absolutely love it. And there's nothing that I would really change about it. And I know that you can't rely on other people for information, but I remember talking to that one guy that I was telling you, I was, super intuitive, that was able to pick up on information that really nobody else, that there was no possible way for him to be able to pick up on. And when I was telling him about my passion for making these videos and stuff, it almost like took him aback with the the intuitive flashes that like he was getting about like how intensely powerful and correct this direction was for me in life. So, with that being said, I want you to also use your intuition for learning how to guide yourself in life, the life direction that you want to go, the decisions you want to make, and what you want to be doing with your life long term, because you have a certain destiny in life that your free will and your intuition wants you to follow, and you can follow it just by developing the skill of your intuition. So thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one.